Really?
Yeah, I did.
Hello, Mrs. Lenny. That's a husband. Maybe I should get my things. Right here? What do viewers? One view. Who's that?
Galing.
That's Aben. How are you today? Are you already at home?
Are you at home, Galing?
It says good morning for y'all. Oh,
Good evening or
oh yes. I'm sitting in the
good evening.
Yeah, he's at home now. Ready to enjoy the weekend. Over here is Sunday. Is it rain? No, actually,
It's a good weather now.
it's pretty good weather today.
But I know we're not sure because later on it's gonna rain.
It might rain, so who knows? Well, I was checking. Even if I don't believe in it, the weather was saying that it was just gonna be cloudy today. So hopefully it's not so bad.
No.
Still? Yeah, today we're gonna go visit some family.
May kamuti.
Look at that. Is it ready? I was outside cleaning watering the plants. Yeah, today we got invited to this party in what is I have not been to that part of the family, and the, she tells me we're gonna walk. It's, I don't know how far it is, but it's gonna be through we're gonna go past the farm and way out there. I don't know how far. It's, it's quite a walk, um, and everybody's getting prepared because we're gonna leave around noon. Um, yeah, maybe we'll come back before 8. Good services. Yeah, we're gonna try and record because I don't know that side of the place, and I don't even know how far it is. So who knows? I'm gonna take um, even the drone. Maybe I can record something out there. But they're gonna have they already know how to convince me to attend parties here. They said, oh, that's because they know that I'm loving the way they cook the pork. And they said they're gonna do lechon and they're gonna do some other dishes. So yeah, they came the other day and personally and they invited us. So yeah, we're gonna go early. Yeah, man, thank you. And like I said, I'm gonna try and record on our way over there. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully we'll come back before late because the kids got school tomorrow, so they need to come back early, and hopefully they don't make a long day because some parties, Filipinos are like Mexicans. They make parties very long sometimes. That would be cool recording with the drum. Well, they sound very delicious. Yeah, man, and we're gonna record it, and hopefully, like I tell you, we wanna do the live from the farm, and who knows, maybe, but no, we need to come back and grab the tent, and because she tells me it's we gotta walk towards where the farm is, and still walk a little bit farther from that. So I have no idea how far that is, but yeah, that's the plan for today. Oh,
The kamote is so sweet.
oh, yesterday when we went to the city,
There's an old lady
is-
selling kamote.
I'll let her tell you the story. Is there any uh,
Listen. That would be cool according to the drone while it's on very delicious.
I guess I'm still gonna take the. I already charged it. Um,
You can fly your drone with it.
was that low?
You can fly your drone.
Yeah, like uh, when we walk and maybe out there. Because I tell them I don't know. We have not been to. Well, you have. I haven't been to the house. So we're gonna see. And
Kamote is very good and healthy. Yes, Kali, that's true.
uh, yeah, it's a little bit different than the one that we have over there.
But look at this.
Uh,
It's purple.
purple. What's the color over there? Like reddish or I
Yeah.
forgot.
We have orange, white, yellow.
Oh, so you guys have more? Because the one over there, I think it's just blue. I forgot the color. I'm not.
Yeah, sweet potato.
Yeah, it's sweet potato, and she bought it yesterday when we went to the city, and she bought a lot of it.
Just 100 pesos.
It's 100 pesos, but it was a big bag, and everybody's eating right now, and there's still so much left in the bag. I can see it from here.
Because when I was a kid,
Hmm.
my grandma will wake me up and say, "Hey, we eat kamote with coffee," like that.
Hmm.
There,
Yeah.
it's blue and violet.
Where, is the corner of where the camote? And it
This one
tastes the
up.
same as the one we eat over there. Very sweet. But I think I don't know if because like
It's
I don't
really
know.
sweet.
Maybe you did it too, because my parents will cook it, but then they will add sugar and milk. I don't know if you ate it the same way.
It's natural color, Kali. He's asking if it's natural color.
Yeah, the blue one, the blue color. Oh,
I will,
purple. What
I
color is
will
that?
have to try next time.
I
I
understand.
visit. Mm.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
super
sweet.
sweet.
It's much sweeter than the one over there, because the one over there, like I said, I ate it, and yeah, it was a little bit sweet, but like my parents, they will add milk and sugar to make it sweeter. Here, they just eat it like that. They don't add anything to it. Because the first time I was asked, like, "Are you gonna put sugar to it?" And they says, "No, we don't add sugar to it. It's already sweet, and it is." Uh, and then, but I only show it to my parents because my dad especially, he loves camote, and he said, like, I well, it's my belief that usually the only times when you eat is when the winter comes, when it's cold, and then it, it's close to Christmas, that that will eat camote. But my dad, he will eat it all year long, and my mom, she knows that he loves the camote so much. So whenever she goes to the store, and if it's available, she will bring it. I'll try next time I visit. Yeah, then try the. Well, let me tell you another thing that you should try. I don't know how much you are into the chile rellenos or the rajitas. Well, if you like fajitas, they put that chili, the purple chili. It's, uh, well, fajitas, they also do it with the red one and the green one. I forgot they call it the bell pepper. But some fajitas, they made it like in Mexican restaurants. They use the, I forgot, guajillo. I don't know the name of that chili that for the chile rellenos. And obviously that you're not gonna find it here. But I found out, and I made a video of it. The the eggplant. I made it with eggplant, which is tastes a lot like, and even the way you prepare it is the same as doing chile rellenos. And the way they do it too, I liked it because I tried it in a restaurant and I was like, "What is that? It's eggplant." So it tastes a lot like chile rellenos, and then I made it with that eggplant, and I was amazed how much of the taste of the eggplant is to the chili, that chili. Yeah, my dad just must always eat it. I have never tried eggplant before. I will look for your video. Yeah, man, but the way they do it.
YouTube up. I didn't try eggplant
Yeah,
before
I
yet.
never tried eggplant before.
Try it?
It's available in the US, but I never tried it over there. My mom did buy it for them, and she cooked it, but I forgot. And because my sister, she's vegetarian, and she every time that my sister will come over, she will cook something, vegetables or something for her. And I remember that she will started cooking with eggplant, but and she will be offer me like, "You want to try eggplant?" No, thanks, I'm okay. And I would never try it over there. But then I got here, and I was at the restaurant that time, and they do it like uh, it is the eggplant. They make it flat, like a little, like in Mexico we call it huarache, the little huarache, and then they put egg. They cook egg on top of it, and what else do they put? That's it, right? Now, just egg
Yeah, and seasonings.
and
And
some
fry it.
seasonings, and deep fry it, and it tastes so good. Like, oh, I loved it, and I asked for seconds at the restaurant, like, give me another one because I liked it so much. And then she says, I can make this for you at home. Really? And I've seen it, like, and this happened, well, like 1 month, 2 months ago.
Mm.
And then after that, I bought the eggplants to do the recipe like chili relleno, and yeah, it tasted the same. Now I do love that. Like since I cannot have all those other chilies that we have in Mexico, I do it with the eggplant, and there's another chili that uh
You was saying no, they don't put cheese or beef inside. No.
no, they don't. It's just like flat. The lay it flat, like, and then they put the once they deep fry it, they put the or is it together with it? I don't. I have not
Yeah.
watched how they cook it, but yeah, it tastes.
First you need to like burn it.
Yeah, same thing like I told you, same process like with the chili.
Yeah.
You toast it,
Yeah,
then
toast
you
it.
peel off the skin,
Mm. And then
and
flat
and
it.
then and then you make it flat,
And then
and
dip it
then
in a egg.
oh with the egg, so
Yeah.
that's why.
And then
And then you
fry.
you deep fry it. It tastes so good with that. It tastes like it was chili.
You should try that kali.
Yeah, if you see that one over here, try it, man. With the egg, it tastes so good. You know, and yeah, it's here. Uh, it, I think that's why you kind of eat more healthy here because you eat a lot of that stuff. Like if you get tired of eating meat, you eat those things and they taste so good. Because they also make some like soups with moringa. I've saw it. Even my mom tried it over there. And you know how right now in the U.S. they're giving so much credit to moringa to from make you lose weight to healthy for your stomach and stuff like that. They give it
But
in
moringa here
powder.
is so is all the moringa is just here in
Well, over there they giving you so many they cure so many things supposedly, but I never tried it. Like, and
yes I have moringa soup with vegetables. It's good,
um,
kali, right?
see, he's got moringa powder. Oh no, the I saw it over there. It became so popular. I don't know if it works or not. I never tried it over there. The moringa over there. I did over here, but with the plant in a soup, and it was really good between that and what's the other one? Oh, the lemongrass, man. The,
Does you know what's lemongrass?
mm, I'm not so sure because we don't have that in over there. Like, we don't have the lemongrass. We don't use it for nothing. Like, actually, I don't even know how you guys collect it. I
There's so
only
many here.
I've seen it. They use it for the chicken soup and for another vegetable soup, and it tastes so good with that.
Mm. When I was in the Philippines, they have moringa tree outside growing. Same thing here, kali. Everywhere you can see moringa.
Yeah, over here it's in the wild. Everywhere it's growing. Uh, you would be amazed.
We have lemongrass right now.
Oh, the
Try to make this.
the one.
Oh, you make tea on a
Yeah, the
lemongrass. Oh, this one, kali. If you do eat pork meat, you do it
ooh.
with like boiled it and then put the lemongrass and then seasoning or other veggies that you want to put. And then
It's
after you boil it, when the pork meat is ready, you try it. It's really good and smells
well,
so good.
it's like a pork stew in pork meat stew, and I tried it. It is delicious. It's kind of like all right. Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this actually, because this is the issue that I noticed and I had before coming here. Everybody online, Americans, other cultures, they always other foreigners, they always say that the beef taste is so different here. Actually, nobody liked the beef here, and I didn't believe it. And I've tried it, probably like around 5 times, something like that. Different recipes, different. At first, I thought they were joking, but it's not. It is true. Like the beef doesn't taste like the beef over there. I don't know if you try it.
But you like the
Do
skin.
you? I do like the skin, but I don't like the
Make it
meat.
barbacoa.
Or let me tell you why. The taste is same as liver, and I tell her that the beef over there, like taquitos of asada, um, all those recipes we do with beef meat is so different. And for me, the the um, the the thing is that I've become so much in love with the pork meat. And you can ask my mom, like before, I will avoid eating pork meat so much in the US because, not only is it's supposed to be bad for you because all the fat and I don't know what it is. And actually, I have problems with it. Like every time I will eat meat, doesn't matter chicharron or like whatever, I will next day I will feel sick. Like my stomach will be weak. I will feel without energy. Even I got headaches every time I will eat. Here, I don't. I totally don't. I could eat every single day, and then the my favorites are the pork chops, and those are so delicious. They taste almost like, I tell her, like the pork chops taste a lot like the beef over there. So my replacement for beef is the pork, and I feel so fine. Like I don't feel what I was feeling over there every time I ate pork. Or I wanted beef in the Philippines, but my fiance said they don't eat they don't eat that, so we don't eat. Yeah, so you didn't get to try it, but you know everybody here, who all the points I said, they only they couldn't explain the taste. They only said it tastes different. It's not the same. And now that I'm here, yes, it tastes different. And the taste that I can give you, it tastes a lot like liver. Mexicans we eat liver. I don't like liver like my parents do, but I don't. Yeah, that's the taste, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like it. And I try in stew, cooked like that. Still, that's the taste that I get from it, and I can honestly say it's not the same. Um, they don't eat barbecue steaks in the Philippines. I don't like living. Yeah, me too. And it's got this funky taste that since the U.S. in Mexico. I hated it liver. I didn't. When I was a kid, I saw it and I was like, no, that's not my taste. But my parents do. They do love it. So maybe if they ever come over here, they're gonna be into that kind of beef. Uh, it says next time we'll have to try it. Yeah, but you're gonna get the that taste if you like. Sometimes uh, in the US, my mom will cook it and then she try to make me eat it and give me a little bit, but then I catch her. Like I will catch her doing that. Like, mom, you gave me liver. It's how because I know she will try cooking it different ways. I was not a fan of liver. Um, oh, I wanted to ask you another thing. You said you got sick 3 times, right? Like one time you went to the beach, the other time from something you eat. And what was the third time? Liver has a lot of with a lot of iron, and I think that I don't like the taste. My mom did the same. Yeah, that's what I think. That was a belief back then that liver was good for you, and that's why they tried to feed it to you when you were since kid childhood. But I never liked it. Like I was like, nope. From all the meats, the one that I never liked was liver. I could eat. In Mexico back then, the cheapest uh, um, meat that you can buy everywhere, anywhere was the chorizo. That was cheap, I think, because from pork to chicken or even, and then obviously beef meat was always expensive. Liver has a lot of times. My mom did the same. Only can eat one piece of camote try to finish. How many did you finish? Five? That looks like a lot. This is my fiance's family was thinking, well, water, and they gave me well water, so I have yeah, for 3 days. Um, that's a problem. I think everywhere, even in Mexico, like you cannot, you shouldn't, especially coming from the U.S. You're like I told you, your body gets to you with what I don't know about you, but like when I was in the U.S., I never even from the tap water. I would not drink that water. I always be drinking bottled water, even in the U.S. Even if they tell you, oh, it's good to drink, no, nope, never. And and here coming here, I did the same thing. Like I don't drink water from tap water or you know use the one that they call it mineral water here, and it's good. It's good, and it's that's and from water I have not gotten sick. I don't think I cannot blame the water here, but I have not drink it either. So yeah, that's a must, man. Like, don't drink water from the wells or the tap water. After I started drinking bottled water, I was fine. Yeah, but and it's that they tell you that your system gets used to one kind of, and then you don't know what's in the water. It could be something bad. It could be as simple as, they say that water from wells or like that is more clean, but it's got minerals. And yeah, your body's not used to it, so you don't even know how it's gonna get affected by it. Maybe that's why I lost so much weight. Is because I was always sick. Yeah, maybe, man. How many pounds did you lose in those 3 weeks? Because I remember, like I told you, I got sick the second month because I remember it was the second month I was gonna do my second extension on the visa, and it was those 2 months I was fine. I didn't get sick at all. Like she was even telling me, "Don't do this, don't do that. You're gonna get sick." Oh, come on! She will say, "Don't because in Phoenix, in Phoenix, so so dry. It never rains. It's we can count like the days we have raining the whole year. And then when I got here, it started raining. It was raining here. Even when the day I arrived, it was raining. It was so cool for me. And even in Phoenix, people who live there always, if it rains, you go outside. I was doing it here too. Like, oh, I love the rain. For so many years I didn't have them over there in Phoenix. Like those forecasters on TV or on they have such an easy job in Phoenix because you can always predict just by going outside. Oh, it's gonna be sunny, sunny and hot. That's the most of the year in Phoenix. Uh, but here, like she was like, don't get wet because it's gonna make you like this. Gonna make you know. I said no, I'm gonna be fine. And yeah, I did like those 2 months. I was like a kid. I was getting wet. I was walking on the puddle. And she was, you guys say, oh, I'll be fine. And I was fine for 2 months until I got sick. But yeah, at that time it was yeah. And then actually that's the only time. Yeah, I had uh, uh, simple things like, but that was all the things like these my kidneys. But this is from the U.S. and like I told you, I was since the U.S. I was having problems because I was being so addicted to drinking soda. And over there, that's what when um, I got kind of made me stop because I was over there. I was drink, especially when I had long days at work. I was drinking anywhere from 3 to 4 or 5 bottles of soda every day, and that was too much for my body. And now that one cannot stay young forever, so the body starts telling you, hey, you need to stop this. And my body was trying to tell me that. And, my kidneys were like, oh. And I immediately knew that it was. And so that's when I tried to quit. But for me, it's kind of hard to do it. And here too, even when on the trip, because I slept so, on my trip over here, I slept so little on the way here. I was keeping myself awake, drinking soda everywhere. Since the moment I crossed the border, I get me myself a drink on the airplane. They offer me soda. Okay, give me some. I arrived in Beijing, same thing. I went for the soda, and it was a few hours. I drank like 2 or 3 sodas in 8 hours. I just doing nothing there. And then when I got to Japan, same thing. Give me soda. And another thing, like I told you the other day, you notice that over here they do use real sugar in the drink. So I was loving it, and I didn't feel affected. I like, oh man. So I arrived here, same thing. I was doing that, but the only thing I did was drinking some other sweet stuff. That thing got me feeling the pain. So, but I said, oh, it is the. And well, one thing that I realize is I know what makes me sick. So I stop it. Yeah, I'm fine again. Like, but right now I'm still checking what to drink and what not to drink. It says me and my fiance were taking taking a shower outside at night. I asked her for a sponge, and she she handed me to scrub myself. This is wow. There is a lot of soda. I don't drink any soda now. I don't know about you, man, but in Mexico, uh, and they do sell them. These rocks
We call it lugod.
what's that? Look,
Lugod. We have it here, but we
you,
don't use it anymore
really?
because we
Oh,
use
so
the
it's
net. Back
yeah.
then, when I was a kid, like, we
Uh-huh.
really used that. I will tell
The
my
rock
grandma, yeah, I'll tell my grandma, Grandma, can you scrub my back? And then she will do like that.
with that rock.
Yeah.
Also, it is. Oh man, so it is. That's another common thing because I want to tell you, we in Mexico we had it too. Like this porous rock. Like, it's got many. Like, it looks like a sponge, but it is not a sponge. It is a rock. And yeah, we had it too when we were kids. Like growing up, my grandma, she was the one that Like my brother and I, like my grandma would take care of my cousins, and, and we were very hyper, and especially when we're a bunch, we were playing with dirt here and there, and we get dirty so fast and so much. And then when it was time to before dinner, like, come on, you guys gotta take a shower. And
Look what happened to Cebu.
but when was that? Oh, yesterday when the wind, right? Yeah. So, is it true they use a rock? Yeah, man, that's what she's telling me right now. But since I arrived, they had these punches that it's kind of like, but they're from the Chinese store, so and they're good for scrubbing yourself. But now she's telling me that they have used those rocks and they haven't too. Maybe she was tricking me. No, it's true that they use them. So, you I thought it was just you, or maybe she was kidding you, but no, they do use them. Um, oh man, yeah, like, yeah, we did use them in Mexico too, but back then, like, I'm talking to you many decades ago. Um, and the funny part was that because my cousins they were a little bit darker than us, than my brother and I, and then my grandma, she will use the rock on them really hard, like, and especially around the elbows and the knees. Sometimes she will uh, bring the blood out of the skin because she will scrub so hard with those rocks. And then my cousin, I remember my cousin would cry like, well, anybody will cry, and especially when you're a kid, you're feeling getting scrubbed with a rock. But yeah, I do remember those rocks. Um, and actually, they sold them because well, in Leon you cannot find them easily. Maybe in Guanajuato, because over there they have so many different type of rocks. But in Leon, no, you don't. You needed to buy them. Is it? Her mom got mad at her because she peeled the skin off my neck. Oh, that, that's not. So it happened. It happened when my grandma used to do to my cousins, but it's not. You know, it, it is. I cannot believe, like, now that we're talking about rocks. The she mentioned it the other day that because I was wondering, over here, like, you already know, they use the little cup when going to the bathroom, and then she was telling me the other day that we were walking, there was a river there, and they said, oh, people come here and use this as a bathroom, and then and I see the river is sometimes it got a little bit of water, sometimes it's dry, and I ask her, so what do they do when there's no water? How do they clean themselves? And she says, oh, with a rock. And she was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna surprise. Uh, but in Mexico we do it too. Like, if there's no leaves, you use a rock. Uh, she told me that the rock is for removing dead skin. No, man. Yeah, it removes that skin, but sometimes even the new skin too. Um, yeah, I did use it when I was a kid, but very lightly. And my mom, she she will only check us. Like she will say, yeah, when we were little, I think she did like scrub us, but my mom was always careful. Like not like my grandma, and also my grandma, her eyes were kind of bad. So maybe and like I told you, my cousins were a little darker than us, and she would be scrubbing and scrubbing so much on them until blood started coming out. Uh, but yeah, every time like my mom would go take a shower, and then, yeah, I use the rock, but I would just use it lightly. Like I didn't want to use it too hard because that thing is a rock. Um, yeah, but no, man, you, you should buy her some some of those sponges because I don't. No, I didn't get. When I got here, she didn't have those rocks for me. Yeah, it is. It is funny how the Philippines and Mexico we have shared and we done things almost similar at the same time, and we have even aside from the you know so many things in common, and sometimes because I I was telling her the other day um like how do you guys change some of the words because the Spanish in Spain eh, it's the same Spanish we use in Mexico even when writing it, but over here eh, they they use the same words, and I guess there was no pencil and paper because the way they write some of the words that they use in in their language. And I was like asking, how did they change from one word to the other? Like, uh, and it's the same thing. Like like last night we're talking about menudo. How did they change the recipe? And maybe us, we also changed the recipe because it's you never know what the real recipe was when they started. It's, I honestly thought she was joking, but I went ahead and trusted her. But I hope she didn't break your trust with that shower, man. Also, her mom always wanted me to eat rice in the morning, then in the afternoon, and then at night. I will tell her, no more, please. Her grandfather is always saying, Juan, rice is life. Uh, yeah, for Filipinos, rice is so essential, and I do believe it, and because for them, rice is sometimes it's everything. Like they'll be happy with only just rice, and they don't, you know. And I guess it's kind of like us, but we didn't base our diet around rice. Like for us, like well, I don't know, some areas different because Mexico is so big, and uh, we like Filipinos. It doesn't matter if you go to the south or to the north. Basically, they all for us, I guess, they all look kind of the same. But for Mexicans, like, I was telling her, like, she was asking me, do all Mexicans look the same? No. We have so many from uh, heights to sizes to the way we speak. Even though we all speak Spanish, we have our accents. And same thing with food. You know, we for the north, like in the south, corn tortillas are essential. But for the north, like all the northern states, flour tortillas are more essential. And yeah, they also eat corn, but they prefer flour tortillas. With, yes, they love rice. And in past, like I remember, my family, we had our difficult times growing up, and for us, it was just having beans, a big uh, bowl of beans was enough sometimes. But at the same time, sometimes we could eat pastas. We have, in Mexico, there's different kind of pastas, and they're very cheap, and it was easy back then to just cook uh, a bowl of beans and cook some pasta, and that's I think the basics of for a lot of Mexicans who. But that was back then. I don't know now. Like I have not been in Mexico for over 20 years. They thought I was crazy because I wanted salt or butter with the rice. They only eat plain rice. Yeah, man, they do. And you know what I did when I arrived? I did, because I said, well, if they like simple rice, plain rice, maybe they're gonna like uh, maybe they're gonna like Mexican rice. So I cooked Mexican rice. It's got the tomatoes flavor on the. That's what it is, and it gives some taste to the rice. No, they didn't like so much my Mexican rice. So yeah, it's something like they're used to it, and you cannot change it. You cannot say why because for them it's like that. Uh, the simple life, and I have come to admire it. That and not just admiring, I'm loving it. Like I love the way they are like that, and you know, and I wish like that because after so many years in the U.S., whether you want it or not, anybody who goes to the U.S. they get Americanized, and that mentality. Even if you think I'm not Americanized, you do become Americanized in some ways, and you realize it once you step out of the U.S. And I've seen it on myself, like what what I was doing, what I did um, to um, well, you can say to be part of the culture of the society, but at the same time, you have your own. When you are an adult, you make your own decisions. But sometimes, like I was a kid, so I learned a few things from the culture, and now I'm realizing I'm like, oh, why did I do this? And why did I? It's the little things. This is they didn't like Mexican. Yeah, man. And I understand because since I was in the U.S., I kept looking for like where I'm gonna eat, because I was thinking I need to have at least once or twice a week Mexican food. So I kept searching for Mexican restaurants, and not only searching, I was looking into the dishes. Like, thanks to Google Maps, you can see, and then everybody gives reviews and they post pictures. And I was looking at dishes, and from Manila to Cebu City, and especially here, uh, I was looking at the Mexican restaurants, and they changed the recipes. You could obviously tell that those were not like some people were posting, oh, delicious, but it was foreigners or Filipinos, delicious or something like that. Enchiladas, and I was like, man, those are not enchiladas. I could tell in the picture those are not enchiladas. Or tacos, even tacos, like they added so many things in the hard shell, and like those are not tacos, my friends. But now I understand why, because if you're gonna sell food here like that, it's kind of like in the U.S. That's why Taco Bell exists, because it's not Mexican food, but it's Mexican food for the Americans. And, there's a lot. Maybe not in Texas, maybe not in California, Arizona, New Mexico, all those southern states that are near the Mexican border. They know it, but the northern states, all the way up north, where they never, probably never, there's a little towns that never seen a Mexican, and then to try Mexican food for them is gonna be something different. And it's the same thing when they try it. Same thing here. Something funny that I was showing here like 2 days ago. I was searching in Google because I was curious about. I did a search of. I asked Google how many Mexicans are living here in the Philippines. The answer, it was uh, funny at the same time shocking, because he said that it was between 400 and 900. I don't know if they're registered or what, but some that's not a lot. That's not a lot of Mexicans. Like, one time we can fill 2, 3 airplanes. The one on the like in the U.S. right now they're having problems deporting so many. Here they can deport us with 2 airplanes. And it will be done so fast. Uh, that is what I'm worried about. That she will get Americanized. Um, well, she's our. You already told me her age, so she's gonna get here and there. She's gonna get here and there things, but like a total um, uh, personality change or something like that. When you're an adult, it's more difficult to change things like that. But yeah, here and there, but like I see myself, I see my siblings, I see other kids, I see other friends that they got to the U.S. early, and I can see how much the culture affected it. Because and I use my siblings because we had the same parents, and usually when you're growing up, your parents are the main source of example, and we had the same example. So we, the difference is like my brother and I was 15 and my brother was is just 1 year younger, and then my two sisters were really young. My brother, he was born and raised in the U.S. and he only visited Mexico when he was a kid. He remembers very little, and he's still like uh, he grew up with the same example my parents, and he feels 100% Mexican because he is Mexican. But even though he's got the American citizenship, uh, for him, Mexico his country. And he speaks Spanish, and he knows how to write Spanish, even though he went to schools in the U.S. and and then, but my little sisters, when they came, they were young. They growing up, they picked up so many of the American way, um, from the way they talk, the way they're here and there. So we saw it, and yeah, it's different on in every person. It's very different. So, but also I've seen like I had some cousins who moved to the U.S. when they were older, and yeah, they picked up very little of the American way. So yeah, it's I think it's my belief that when they're younger is when the Americanization happens more radical than when you're older. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not a lot. So yeah, I mean I think yeah, you do some of those changes unconsciously, but others you do it consciously. Like and even me, like I noticed that some of them were unconscious, others were consciously, and then you compare them. Once you go to another country, or even if you go back to Mexico, you realize those changes, and then you see that uh, it's a form to grow as a person, to realize if what's better, what you learn or what you just realize. So I'm taking note, and at the same time, like uh, I you know uh, I remember when I was around between 20 and 30 years old, I had like what they call uh, a question to myself, like, because I think it was the not a middle crisis, but it was the middle of spending my life. Half of it was in Mexico, and the other half was in the U.S. already. And I was thinking, where am I from? Am I Mexican, or am I American? Like, and I, if I look at myself in the mirror, yeah, I see myself Mexican. But at the same time, I knew so much about the American culture, and and then I was used to it. And so where I'm really from, but the only conclusion I could, the only conclusion I could make out of it, that phrase, that La India Maria, La India Maria used to do in one of her movies. No soy ni de aquí ni de allá. I kind of felt like that. I'm not from here nor from there. Yeah, so because even when I went to Mexico, uh, over there, they immediately. I went to Leon, and the guy who picked me up uh, in a taxi, immediately said it. You come from the United States, even though it was from Leon. Come on, we you and the guys, even though I was there, and it happened so often, like, you know, I look Mexican, but they realized, they noticed it, that I was not living there so easily. They could notice it. So, and then in the US, obviously, they, they know that you're Mexican, and you're, so that's what was my question, like, where am I from? And, the only thing I could come up with was, I became like an immigrant. That's my better explanation, immigrant. And, right now, that's what I'm doing, and I'm happy with it. Like, the, um, we were talking the other day about it, like, uh, for some people that come over here, or they go anywhere else, and yeah, they're thinking, it's easy to think that, oh, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna just because what I see, because like I told you, I watch a lot of YouTube. Thanks to YouTube and the internet, you can find information to where you're going and that, but still, it's not the same. Once you get there, you're gonna have many experiences different to what you might read or see, and it's all up to the person how adaptable they are. And for us that we moved to another country already, because I had it like I was telling her, like when we were kids and we went to the U.S. Within a month, we were like, my brother and I, oh, let's go back, let's go back. I don't understand the language. I'm not used to this. The school is so different. I miss my family. I miss my school in Mexico. And but my dad says, no, you guys wanted to come here. Now you stay here. So we did, and eventually we adapted. We grew up in there, and it was easy. And now that I'm here, I think because I experienced it once already, that process of adaptation, and I've seen it. I've seen in other foreigners that either by choice or by, um, I cannot say force, but by circumstances, they gotta stay or they gotta stay a little longer, and you can see the satisfaction, but it's counted because most of the people who don't want to be here, they already left, and the people who are here is because they loved it. So but they all had that process of adapting, and they either went through it or they didn't. And for me, it has been easy, and mostly because of that. I had my experience in the U.S. of living through that, like adapting to a new language. To this day, I'm trying to understand the language here. I understand like 10, 20, 30% at the most. And, but that doesn't stop me from, understanding and having a good time and living happy here because it's something that I already know how to do. Even though I was born in Mexico, I don't feel Mexican anymore. Yeah, I mean, you were brought to the U.S. very young, so you're kind of like my brother, like you whole world. Even though your family probably already told you, and you are, like you say, you already visited Mexico. You know the life over there. You know our customs, our traditions, and but uh, you know, I don't know if it like for you, coming when you came here to the Philippines, was that your first time out of the country besides Mexico? Okay, give me some water. Can you give me some water? Thank you.
Make your heart believe that I'm a bad
Yes, you
liar.
must be able to digest and adapt.
Now you know you're free
Yeah, I mean,
to go.
like I've seen some guys that they do it like they say baby steps. They come here to try it.
Sir,
Thank you so much.
sir,
Mm,
after service.
at my service. Uh, they do what they call baby steps. They come for a little bit. They try it, and eventually, they start learning a little bit more about the culture and more specific. Find a place like I told you before. You need to find a place where you think you're gonna be happy having everything that you want, because that's the issue. Um, a lot of foreigners that come over here, and then especially the ones that they tend to stay in one place near the other foreigners. Like you have a lot of areas with those cities, big cities or small cities, and they want that. And, we're the same. Like Mexicans. That's why we make from LA to Texas and now recently for the last 20 years Arizona is because you tend to go where your culture is where is growing and so foreigners do the same thing here. They stay in areas like that because you need that kind of connection uh, to feel a little bit like for foreigners one of the things is the language, but it's not because Filipinos speak English and even though but I think is that connection that they miss that and that's why they do it too. Like and you will see very little foreigners in smaller towns, and I guess those are the guys that they're a little bit like me. They can adapt to anything, and some of them live alone. Like I see them, like they're walking here, they pass sometimes just walking along with their backpacks. And that's it. And, those are used to. They love the challenge of trying new things, going different places. And, it's I guess it's a living for them. Uh, you are like my older brother. He was in Mexico half his life. I think this is like when I message when I actually finish in the future. Yeah, man. And if your goal is to do that, uh, yeah, you should keep trying taking more trips like that. So that from what you tell me on your first trip, it's yeah, it was difficult. I can imagine that any other person will be like, oh hell no, I'm not going there again to get sick for 3 weeks. Uh, Even though sometimes probably was fun, the other times were like really hard on you. But maybe more trips will get you used to it and find out more about where exactly you wanna live and retire. Um, I went, yeah, man. It's my phone sometimes the messages take some time to appear here.
I want to live in the Philippines in the future.
It says my family already knows that one day I will live and live in the Philippines. Um, my family, like my parents, I tell them they should come over here, but the biggest uh, barrier for them is the language. Because even in the U.S., they after so many years, they understand English, but they cannot speak it so well or so fluently. So it's a big barrier for them, and also uh, the connection with family. Yeah, they have friends over there in the U.S., but it's not like family. My mom, she's got a sister and three sisters, two sisters and one brother in Mexico. My dad, yeah, he's alone. But my dad, he's like, well, I gotta stay with your mom. So wherever she goes, he will go. Uh, what's up, Barry? How are you? Good morning to you. We're here in the Philippines. Uh, so my parents, I tell them you guys should come over here too, but they're like, no, no. It's I used to tell them everything about the Philippines, like from what I read, you know. And now that I'm here, I keep telling them it's like this, it's like that, and it's a lot like Mexico. You guys are gonna be fine, but still, like, no, it's the I guess the language is the the main, and then being so far from my siblings too, and they don't want to. Even right now, they're they want to be in Mexico, but at the same time, they cannot leave my siblings because they have my nieces and nephews, and they got used to them, like seeing them at least once a week or so, and they don't want to be too far from them. And it's now that they're older, uh, that's their the main drive to just be for the family. And when I came here, yeah, they were sad, but at the same time, they I told them, and they see it. They see it that I was gonna be happy here because I was close to 100% sure that I could make it here. Just I have two houses here. My plan is to rent one house and let my brother live in the other house, so I will collect rent and I can use the money in the Philippines. Oh, well, the as far as doing that's an amazing plan. You know, because um, it all depends in how you want to live here. I saw so many videos on guys doing budget videos, uh, and it varies a lot. But it's the same thing. It depends how you want to live it. I've seen some guys that they say, "Oh, I can survive in the Philippines with $400." Uh, well, if it's him, yeah, you can live $100. But how are you gonna live? That's the question too. Because uh, yeah, you can rent a small apartment and live very simple, and that's enough for just that. But you're not gonna have any pleasures of eating this restaurant or going out. You need to cook. You need to do most of the stuff yourself, and then you also run the risk if you get sick, and you know there's a lot of things to consider. Uh, and some of the guys, like some of those badges, they said, oh, with nine and double, like 800, and yeah, probably with $800. And some of them they say, well, right now the others make it to 1,000, 1,400, and yeah, that's enough, plenty to live comfortably here, and and but you also need to take into account all the unexpected things that might happen, and 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 and, and, and you need to make a good plan on it because um, it's the I think the main thing when you get older is gonna be your health. And once you get older, you start like right now. My parents. That's another thing that they don't wanna they don't want to leave the U.S. and go for Mexico because they don't know. Even though my aunt, she keeps telling, oh, don't worry about because they're taking medications, and they're afraid or the changes in the medications once they go to Mexico if it's gonna be the same because even in the U.S. every month the doctor will change their medication because he says, oh, you need to take this one or different, and it affects them. They will feel the change and says, oh no, and then so that they're mostly afraid of that. That at their age, the services, the medical services, are not going to be the same. So it's a lot to consider, and make a good plan on it. But my 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 tip is the more you read, the more you find out, and but more essentially, come and visit and see it for yourself because that's the best way to to learn, when you from your own experience. Barry only say hello. So when you came here in, uh, did you ever went out of Manila, or did you just stay in Manila? He says, I told my fiance we will live simple for the next 6 years because I want to save enough to build or buy a house in the Philippines. Yeah, I mean that's a good plan. Um, and yeah, do that, and and if she's gonna support you, like uh, in saving especially. Uh, I know you can do it when when the two of you work towards the same goal. I think you can do it. We have a lot of to plan and talk about. Yeah, man. If you already have that in mind, let her know so she, because it's like when you're in a relationship with a person, it's like going in a boat. Both of them need to be uh, pushing towards the same uh, goal. I mean, you don't want, and it is possible that and like when I were talking in the U.S. to Lani, same thing. I didn't, I will ask her, what do you want in life? What do you want? Because I had my goals, and I told her, I want something simple. I want, I just want. It doesn't mean the same thing to her. Like, she said it, and that's why I connected with her so much. Because, and now, even right now, like, we make our plans, and we both are on the same boat. Like, we trying to do the same for that. This is yes, Manila, and then we went to Iloilo. Also, that's why you like Iloilo. Um, uh, if if the both of you uh, are already dreaming and setting yourself for uh, doing that, I'm pretty sure she's gonna help you in everything possible. And it's one thing I keep telling her, Lani, don't worry about too much how, just enjoy the journey, because that's the main thing I learned, that in life sometimes things get difficult, get um, here and there, but it's always nice to enjoy whatever comes your way. You see, I wanted to visit Cebu, but we didn't had enough time. Yeah, man, I've been here for months, and it feels like nothing. Like, yeah, I still feel like I just arrived yesterday, even though I already did so much in 4 months. And 3 weeks, yeah, it was just a quick visit. And yeah, you need another vacation. And then, like you said, hopefully in December, is we're still here. You need to come over here, man. Uh, one of the things that I like here, uh, and then she was telling me the other day, we were she was asking me, do you like Toledo City? I told her, of course, yes. I love this city. You know, uh, I, it's much similar because I made the point when we went to Cebu City. We were walking, and it's so crowded. For me, I'm not. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter if it's LA. Well, actually, LA has changed so much. It's not like before, except for the freeways. It's a mess. It's a mess to drive in LA. But other than that, I remember when we arrived, because we used to live in LA first, and there was so much people living there. It kind of felt like it felt it felt like I don't know if you ever visited Mexico City. Same thing. I didn't like Mexico City, not because of the city, but because of the crowds. I'm not that person of big cities, and that's the thing that I love here. It's not crowded. We walk and there's not a lot of people, except when we go to Cebu City over there. And I told her that day, this is why I don't like big cities because I'm not into walking with a lot of people. And that's just part of me. It's not. And I prefer the smaller cities, the smaller places like this, or uh, yeah, you suffer from having things close to you at hand, but at the same time, I live more happier here like this, and it, 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 it's more for me. It's more peaceful and more fulfilling than being in a city. And in the U.S., it doesn't matter where you are. I think even the smaller cities. The whole life is always like you're always doing something. You gotta do something. You gotta go somewhere. And they move so fast over there. Um, it's and I don't know. Maybe the age now is getting to me that I wanna just some smaller pace on things. It's, I don't like crowded places. Yeah, and then you're probably gonna. I don't know. I have never been to Iloilo, but maybe that's why you love that place. Because maybe it's not as crowded as Manila. Because in Manila, I only spent like 2 hours, and that was enough for me to say, oh, I watched videos here and there. I knew how it was, and yeah, it was quite enough. Even though let me tell you about the time I went to Manila. Like when I arrived to Manila, the people were so kind to me. Like they helped me a lot from the airport to the taxi. That experience was, it's the same that I'm having here with Filipinos. They're so kind and helpful. So, but yeah, still like big cities is not I don't want to bash on them, but it's not for me. This is my brother tells me that something is wrong with me. He doesn't mind if it's crowded. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Some people are like that. Like they love uh, they love crowded places. They love the big cities, the life of the big cities. I cannot. Um, Maybe I could stand it when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I don't. I don't like big cities at all. I can tolerate them because when we go to Cebu City, yeah, I can. But it's just like going on vacation. You go in, you do your thing, you go out, and that's it. It's not for me to live there. No, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like living there at all.
Uh, oh.
Good thing that she's the same. Like she prefers the simple life out here. She doesn't wanna live in a big city. She gets as anxious as me in a big city. my and my I'm gonna say my little sister. She in my sibling. She's the one that is like that. She well maybe now that she's older, but when she was younger, she loved uh, the life of. She was uh, a person of the being among the crowds. Well, now that she's a little bit older and she's got kids, she's loving the settled life. But I think her personality is still the same. Like if she could and uh, she could manage to live in a big city. Here, Phoenix is growing so much too. It's not small anymore. I like being outside, starting a fire and just relaxing outside. Uh, you know, here when I arrived, that's another thing that I lost from her family and the life here, and I think and the first time I noticed it that it's another thing that even as a family we became Americanized. Because let me tell you this, when we were in Mexico, when I was a kid, my mom and my dad, when it came time to eat dinner or even breakfast, uh, we would do it together. Everybody had to be around the table, and yeah, we were kids, we were playing around, but we all did it together. Like when it came time to eat, it was time to eat. And yeah, right after we were done with food, yeah, we'll run to the street and play again. And here, it reminded me of that time because her family does that thing. They gather together to eat together as a family, and they're joking, and and, and and even after they eat, they stay to keep chatting and making jokes here and there. And it's something that I remember my family lost when we went to the U.S. because of life, because actually immediately as we got to the U.S., like we will eat at different times. My mom and dad, yeah, my mom will prepare food and we says time to eat, and we were busy either doing homework or doing something else or watching TV, and yeah, they will start eating alone, and then same thing to us, like oh I'm hungry, and my mom will serve us, but we did it like in every side. We lost that. We lost it as a family. We became Americanized that we stopped eating together, and you notice those changes that I don't know if it was conscious or unconsciously or maybe both. But that's the thing that I tell you. You um, it's not adaptation, but it's Americanization. What happened to me and to my family there. I need to go eat Taco Bell, man. Oh man, I'm joking, no, but I don't need to go. My girls is calling me. All right, man. Take your time, and I will see you next live. We also need to prepare, but thanks for being in chat with us. Uh, I'll see you tomorrow, man, or later when we come back from over there. Bye.